Was this the moment that broke Jungkook? Why did the youngest BTS member leave the hospital room in tears, unable to speak? What really happened to Taehyung after his discharge from military service? And why is no one from HYB willing to explain everything? Is there something they're hiding from ARMY? In a turn of events that has stunned fans across the globe, BTS member Jungkook was seen leaving a Seoul hospital in visible distress after visiting Kim Taehyung, also known to millions as V, whose health has not improved since his mysterious post-military hospitalization. The moment Jungkook stepped out of the intensive care wing, eyewitnesses described his expression as shattered, confused, and even haunted. What did he see in that room? While millions rejoiced at Taehyung's completion of military service just weeks ago, the unexpected health crisis that followed has brought a wave of panic, uncertainty, and speculation. But nothing prepared anyone, not even BTS' closest circle, for the emotional collapse of Jungkook, who has always been seen as the group's strong and steady force. Yet, on that rainy afternoon, under the fluorescent lights of the hospital hallway, Jungkook's tears told a story the world had not yet heard, a story of brotherhood, fear, unspoken trauma, and a loyalty so deep it hurts. As fans gather online, dissecting every video clip, hospital update, and member interaction, one question refuses to fade. What is happening to Taehyung, and why is his condition not improving? The signs were there, hidden in plain sight. A sudden quietness from HYB, delayed updates, members arriving and leaving in silence. And then, Jungkook's tears, the final march, and the hidden toll. What happened after Taehyung's military discharge? Just 3 weeks ago, fans lined the streets and trended hashtags worldwide to celebrate Kim Taehyung's return from military service. But beneath the cheers and cameras, insiders now reveal that Taehyung had already begun showing signs of unusual fatigue and disorientation. He didn't look right, a close friend who asked not to be named told local reporters. "We thought it was exhaustion." He kept saying he just needed rest, that it was normal. But it wasn't normal. Sources confirmed that just 72 hours after returning home, Taehyung collapsed. He was rushed to the hospital under tight security, and within hours, multiple medical specialists were called in, including neurologists and infectious disease experts. HYB's official statement mentioned only a health issue requiring rest. But behind the scenes, panic had already set in. This wasn't a simple fever. This wasn't just stress. Jungkook's visit, a scene that left the hospital staff in tears according to hospital insiders. Jungkook had been delaying his visit due to his own commitments, but also, some say, out of fear. He's incredibly close to Taehyung. He calls him soulmate. They've been through everything together, said a former staffer from Big Hit. He didn't want to see him like this. But the moment finally came that on June 21st, at exactly 3:42 p.m., Jungkook entered the hospital, flanked by 2 managers and wearing all black. He stayed inside Taehyung's private room for approximately 48 minutes. What happened inside remains confidential, but what happened after he exited is already viral. CCTV footage, now leaked and widely circulated on fan forums, shows Jungkook wiping his face aggressively, as if trying to erase tears. One nurse described it as the saddest thing I've ever seen. He looked like he was trying not to scream, she recalled. He kept saying something like, "Why didn't anyone tell me it was this bad? What is Taehyung suffering from? Why is HYB so silent?" Despite growing calls for transparency, HYB continues to insist that Taehyung is merely undergoing intensive recovery. However, online sleuths and medical bloggers have begun pointing out contradictions. He's been in for more than 2 weeks. If this were something simple, like post-military fatigue or a viral infection, we would have seen some signs of improvement by now. One commenter wrote on a popular BTS health discussion thread, "The silence from the agency is louder than words." Speculation ranges from a rare neurological disorder to complications arising from extreme training during his service. Some fans fear it may be psychological, PTSD, depression, or trauma. But others worry it's something worse. Photos of Taehyung's hands, slightly trembling during his last public appearance, have now gone viral, with fans zooming in, analyzing every pixel, asking, was he already sick at that point? "You promised me you'd come back healthy. Jungkook's final words inside the room? Though unconfirmed, a source close to the situation has revealed what Jungkook reportedly said to Taehyung during his visit. The two had a long history of making pacts, of holding each other accountable, even promising to return from military service stronger, happier, and ready to make music again. According to the source, Jungkook whispered, "You promised me you'd come back healthy. I waited. I kept my promise. Now you have to keep yours." He then broke down. Was this the moment Jungkook realized that his best friend might not recover the way they hoped? Was this goodbye? I couldn't even recognize him anymore. Jimin's visit and the shocking silence that followed the day after Jungkook's unexpected emotional collapse in front of Seoul National Hospital. BTS member Park Jimin arrived quietly through the underground parking level, hidden from fans, media, and even hospital staff. Only a few eyes saw him walk down the hallway leading to Taehyung's room, wearing a gray hoodie and sunglasses, his face hidden, but his steps slow. Too slow. Jimin, who had been in Busan during Taehyung's initial hospitalization, was reportedly devastated after receiving an unfiltered update from Jungkook the night before. A staff member disclosed that Jungkook made a frantic phone call at 10:17 p.m., sobbing, his voice shaking as he repeated, "Hyung, I didn't know it was this bad. I didn't know." What Jimin saw when he entered the room changed everything. Taehyung's condition. The scene Jimin couldn't mentally process, unlike Jungkook, who remained composed until he left the room. Jimin reportedly began crying the moment he saw Taehyung's face. He kept repeating, "Taehyung, what happened to you? Why didn't you tell us?" said a nurse who was stationed nearby. He sat by his side, holding his hand the entire time. It was the first time Taehyung moved in hours, just a little twitch of his fingers. That movement, however small, sparked hope in the staff. But to Jimin, it wasn't enough. He was whispering things, probably memories from their trainee days. He begged him to wake up. Another insider revealed. At one point, Jimin reportedly said, "If you're scared, I'll stay. I'll sleep here. I'll wait with you." And he did. For over 7 hours, Jimin didn't leave the room, a strange protocol. HYB's control over hospital access fans began noticing a disturbing pattern. Only BTS members or their immediate staff were allowed into the private wing. Even the hospital's senior personnel were allegedly forced to sign NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. No family photos. No visitor logs. No medical updates. When reporters contacted HYB for clarity, the agency repeated the same vague line. Taehyung is undergoing treatment and is being given the best care possible. We ask for your understanding and privacy at this time. He knew something was wrong even before the collapse. Taehyung's secret symptoms before the hospitalization. A growing number of fans now point to Taehyung's final V-Live before enlistment, a quiet, short broadcast in which he looked visibly pale and distracted. Many now believe he was trying to hide the truth about his health even then. There was a moment where he lost his train of thought mid-sentence. That wasn't normal, said one YouTube commentator who has analyzed over 100 BTS videos. We thought he was just tired. But in hindsight, he was trying to push through something serious. Even during his final photo shoot in uniform, eagle-eyed fans noticed his posture was slightly slouched and that he was unusually quiet in group photos. The journal found in his bag. Taehyung's private writings before his collapse in a twist no one expected. A source close to Taehyung's family claims that a small, black leather journal was found in his military-issued duffel bag. Handwritten notes dated weeks before his discharge. One entry read, "I feel something isn't right. My hands won't stop shaking. I can't breathe sometimes. I told the officer, but they said, I'm just anxious. But I don't think this is anxiety. I think it's something deeper." Another line, "If I don't make it out the way I planned, I hope the members know I tried. I really tried." Was Taehyung suffering in silence during his entire service?